Strength.
Endurance.
Stamina.
These aren't just words.
They're the foundation of every race.
Every wave.
Every sprint to the finish.
Out here, it's about more than just winning.
It's about pushing past pain.
Defying exhaustion.
And embracing every challenge the ocean throws at us.
When the waves are towering.
When the sand burns underfoot.
And when your body says stop.
That's when the real test begins.
This is where champions are forged.
This is where only the strongest come through.
This is the Shaw and Partners Iron Series.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. We're in the Steel City. Newcastle Beach is the venue for Super Sprint today. I'm Josh Minogue. Joining me on the sand is former Iron Women's Series champion Courtney Hancock. Courtney, you've raced here, you've won here. It's the heart and soul of surf sports. How good is it to be here in Newcastle?
Oh, Josh, I'm so excited we're back here at Newcastle Beach. As you said, it is the heart and soul here. And even if the swell is looking like it's going to be small, Newcastle Beach, it always throws something up. So for all the athletes, it's going to be very tricky.
Plenty of action today, that is for sure. But there's been plenty of action in the series so far. Let's take a look at round number 1 from Wanda in Sydney. Round 1 met the field with a pressure cooker. 28 athletes took to the line with enduro on Saturday, and it was Electra Outram who burst away from the field early.
Electra, we saw her last season. She was so good, but she went out there, a lot of confidence. But Lana Rogers, our reigning champion, she really came through with the goods in the end.
Yeah, she absolutely dominated in the end and produced what an emphatic victory. More of the same on the men's side of things. A couple of mistakes from old heads allowed Ethan Callahan to sneak away.
Yeah, Callahan got a little bit of a gap on Ali Day, but Ali Day, with that endurance background, he came through. And unfortunately, we saw the likes of former champion Kendrick Lewis out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was the former champs there getting it done on Saturday. Eliminator on Sunday, and we've heard the name that many times. Lana Rogers, she turned the screws on the rest of the field and really put them under pressure.
She looks really good, in great form this year, but she didn't have it all her own way. She had a sprint finish with Lizzie Wellborn, who looks in top form at the moment.
Back-to-back for Rogers, and I guess back-to-back for Day as well. He didn't really fire early on. It was the Kiwi Joe Collins who put the rest of the field under the pump, but once Ali Day gets rolling, he's hard to stop.
Joe Collins will definitely want to get one over this round 2 over Ali Day. He was confident, speedy, and he looked really good out there, but Ali Day, he's got the likes of Callahan, Harlan, and Collins all chasing him down.
Double trouble for Day and Lana Rogers in round number 1.
We were so cooked going into those last legs, but yeah, cool being Ethan and Callum up there. They're both great guys and love racing with them and against them.
Oh, we're all the young guys of the sport, so to be up the front, it's just so good for the sport.
I'm very, very optimistic about this series, and I just wanted to go in and get back to what I do best and lock in and just refocus on what I have to do out there. And I just wanted to come out there and do that again today. So I was able to pull that off. I know I didn't have a lot of confidence coming into this race, but I wanted to rebuild, and it's just made me a little bit more resilient. So again, I'm really happy with the outcome.
Well, the first one's always going to be a bit interesting. I always personally don't feel that good, but when there's 28 blokes in the water and you go into a can only 100 metres off the beach, it's, there's so many people like drowning one another out there. It's pretty funny, but yeah, second race, third race, I get better. And by the third one, it's just give it all you got. I want to get back on the plane tonight heading into Christmas knowing that I gave everything. Format's obviously so different. It gets a clean slate when we get to Newcastle. First and foremost, you want to just get to Newcastle because it's that eliminator format. But at the same time, too, I want to carry some confidence into Newcastle and for the rest of the other events this season. So I'm stoked with that.
And Courtney, while there were some impressive performances in round number one, all of that means nothing now. The points get wiped, we go back to square one, and it's about surviving round number two here in Newcastle. Speaking of Newcastle, some great Ironman and Ironwoman champions have come from this part of the world, and you caught up with one of them, Australian Ironman champion Dan Collins.
Newcastle, the home of cafes, coastline, and the legend Dan Collins. Dan, can you show me around Newcastle?
Yeah, let's go.
So Dan, here we are, a spot that you know so well. This is part of your local, somewhere you're here every day.
Yeah, I started my nippers journey just up the road, and I'm lucky enough to call it my office now. So yeah, definitely close to home and a special place.
How special is it going to have all that crowd support?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to have the local community turn out over the weekend for the upcoming races, and yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely. We know everyone's going to be cheering you on, and I guess being a local here, you've lived here your whole life. How much is that going to play, I guess, into tactics and knowing the beach better than anyone else?
Yeah, it's pretty special to have a race at home. It's going to be the first time that I've ever professionally raced here. It's been a long time since we've been here, and as a kid I got to watch the professional series roll into town, so I'm really looking forward to get my foot on the line and hopefully use some of that local knowledge to my advantage.
Can you show me a bit more of Newcastle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing me around your local town. Can you just tell us where are we at the moment?
Yeah, we're at the House of Roast on Derby Street.
Amazing. And you were talking before, you are a mad coffee drinker. What are we drinking, and what do you have before your race as well?
Yeah, iced latte at the moment. It's nice and hot outside today, so cooling off drink, and yeah, always try and have a coffee before I race, and yeah, part of the daily routine, a coffee at home. I like to make it myself, so yeah.
Yeah, all right, take me back to round one. Totally new series, a new format as well with the run in the Enduro being up first. How did you feel after round one?
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock to the system, I think, to have that run at the front of an Enduro. The Enduro's a grueling race as it is, and to throw a run leg at the start, yeah, mixed up the field, I think, a lot, and to have 28 starters on the line was something that we're not all that familiar with either. So yeah, it was a really exciting way to kick off the series, and yeah, really happy with how the round went for myself.
Amazing. Well, you are the home local here. All the locals will be cheering for you. We'll be cheering for you. Wish you all the best, and yeah, go get him, Dan Collins.
Yeah, thanks so much. I can't wait.
I'm doing the cheers again. That's okay.
Well, Courts, you two living it up in the coffee shops up there. It seems nice for some, that's for sure, but things are about to get very, very serious. Super sprint today, 3 races. It's all about consistency. You've got to perform in the first 2, and you've got to get it done in the third. Let's take a look at the format.
The Shaw & Partners Iron Series is heating up. Here at the beautiful location of Newcastle Beach, we will lose another 6 Ironmen and Ironwomen after this weekend. Round 2 kicks off with the Super Sprint. So, how does it work? The Super Sprint sticks to the traditional iron format and course, combining ski, board and swim, but with a twist. Race 1 starts with the ski, board and finishes with the swim. Race 2 shakes it up with the swim first, followed by ski and board. Finally, race 3 begins with board, swim and ends with ski. Here's the twist. Points are awarded for races 1 and 2, and these points determine the staggered start for race 3, where the athlete with the highest score takes off first and the rest followed by their rankings. It is all about consistency. Every second, every stroke and every point counts, because at the end of this weekend, 6 more athletes will be eliminated.
It's the first time we've seen this format this summer, and it's one I really look forward to.
It is. It's a really tough one, this one. The athletes really have to be on their A game. It's fast, it's tactical, and as you said before, it all comes down to that third iron. We've actually got Ty Dowker on the sand. Ty, what are your thoughts about this round?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, there's three big things I'm looking forward to. Number one, it's the Arena of Newcastle Beach, historically known for great surf sports events, and another one here today. Number two, the youth versus that of experience. Tapania versus Rogers, Callahan versus Day. And number three, it's round two pressure cooker. They survived round one. Big casualties in round one. They want to be there in round three, but they've got to get through today. Strap yourself in. It's going to be a cracker.
Thanks, Ty. Spot on as always. Well, the talking's been done. It's time for the racing. Stick with us because after the break, it's the Shaw and Partners Iron Series, race number 1 of Super Sprint. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Newcastle Beach for round 2 of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Courtney Hancock, what a venue, what a picturesque place.
Isn't it absolutely beautiful? It's so exciting. We're back here at Newcastle Beach. We lost 6 from the last round, so round 2 we have the top 22.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Let's take a look at what's ahead of these men and women today. We'll check out the course map, the traditional iron here today. Of course, the engine swim leg, the race 1 ski leg, and the board leg as well. It's the transitions that I think are going to make a massive difference.
Yes, the sand here at Newcastle is very deep and it's a very long transition run. We'll get to that in a moment when we pan across. There's gutters out there, it's low tide, there's swell out there, it's all happening today.
Yeah, 3 races, the points from the top 2 will add up. We'll take a look at the start list now, and 1 and 2 at the top of the list from last year were 1 and 2 in round number 1. The defending champ, Ali Day, the Kiwi, Joe Collins in second place. I think today might be his day. Matt Bevilacqua will be looking to bounce back alongside his clubmate, Zach Morris from the Northcliffe Club on the Gold Coast. Finn Askew and Kai Kinsella, they were close, but not quite close enough there in round 1. Expect big things. A couple of old heads in Jackson Borg and Corey Taylor line up in 9 and 10. A little bit further down the page, Benny Carberry, the last man to qualify for this round, and the local lad we heard from earlier, Dan Collins. Ethan Callahan, he burst onto the scene along with Connor Maggs. These two men, they're the future. We head further down the start list. Riley Harlan was great, finished on the podium in race number 1. Will Savage, the man from West Australia. Sean Riley, the Victorian, 4th there, and another local, formerly just down the road at Swansea Belmont, Kai Taylor. Callum Brennan, he got a podium in the opening round as well. Odin Parrish, the man from North Avoca, now at Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. Training partners from Alexandra Headland on the Sunshine Coast, Williams and Simpson. And the last 2 lining up, Joel Piper of Burleigh, Braden Casamento of Alex by way of Warrnambool. Everything has been said. It's time to get it on. Race number 1, ski, board, swim is the order. You will earn points in this race. That will determine your starting order in the 3rd race. 2-second gaps. It's all on the line. You've got to be consistent, don't you, Courtney Hancock?
Have to be consistent. And on saying consistent, they are off and away. We just see it looks like CJ Brennan. The reason he's going across there, you can see Newcastle Beach. We've got the likes of Ali Day and also Zach Morris. There is a rip outside there on the north side. 2 different tactics.
A couple of guys there have gone all the way down into that gutter, paddled the entire way. A few of the boys in the middle ran across that bank, and I think the gutter at Newcastle, we've raced here a lot, not so much in the last decade, but you've got to go to where the water's moving, and it's on that far end. And have a look at Zach Morris, Braden Casamento. It looks like Finn Askew and Ali Day. They were the sort of the top 4 at that end of the field. They've shot out in that rip, and they have got a massive advantage on that side. And I think, like you said, the idea from CJ Brennan to run all the way around, that's him on the far right-hand side in that second group. He went from potentially being last to sitting in 5 and 6. That's a good result for him.
Well, CJ Brennan, he backs himself as a very strong runner as well. So you saw him, he knew exactly the plan. He got going, he didn't follow anyone else, and I really love that tactics. But you see the 4 out in front. They are Casamento, Morris, Askew, and Day out there. Callahan not too far away, and they were all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Zach Morris is a sneaky dark horse for the series, for the race today. He finished up in 4th overall last summer, and this kind of racing suits him. It'll be men's race, women's race, men's race, women's race, then our 2 finals. And if you give him a little bit of rest, and an opportunity across the bank here. He will fire up in that third one, and if he's close enough, if he goes off third, fourth, fifth, I think he's good enough to win. The chase pack just behind them, Joe Collins, the Kiwi on the blue ski, Benny Carberry is there as well. Ethan Callahan's just drifting back. That's Collins on the blue starting to come into that turning can. Benny Carberry, he was absolutely horrendous in the opening round, and I don't think he'd mind me saying that, but he was sick as a dog for the week leading up. He was really struggling, and for him it was about surviving and keeping his series hopes alive, and I think he's done that here. He's got himself to round 2 in Newcastle, and I expect him to just go forward in leaps and bounds. And you can see the back of the pack. A lot of these gentlemen were all the way at the other end of the field. Dan Collins, the local lad from Redhead, goes around. Let's take a look at a replay of the start list here and the difference in going all the way down in that rip.
It was really interesting. CJ Brennan just ran across, as we can see. The other men, we've got the likes of Joe Collins in the middle there. They had to get off their skis and run, where you had the likes of Zach Morris, Ali Day. Here he goes now. He knew exactly what he was doing, just waited for Kai Kinsella there to get across, and then he made his move.
Yeah, smart racing. Sometimes it's not about being fast, it's about not being slow, if that makes sense, and you just don't want to make any mistakes. The lead 4 have been joined by 2 more, so Ali Day at the top, Joe Collins in blue, Finn Askew in the black and pink, Braden Casamento from Warrnambool in Victoria now at Alexandra Headland, the white and orange. Zach Morris on the pink, Ben Carberry on the right-hand side there on the white ski. They are our top 6 as we head into the first transition of race number 1 today. And these, well, 6 men will be feeling very, very good about themselves right now.
It's nice to have that little buffer zone. And this is what we spoke about at the start of the package. This run is very long. It's much longer than when we saw at Wanda. So Joe Collins, I thought he came out really well there from running the middle. And we've also got Finn Askew, he's very light across the sand. Zach Morris, Casamento, obviously Day in there, and Ben Carberry is back.
We can almost see immediately the smaller, sort of lighter lads there working across, and Big Ben Carberry struggling. Ty Dowker for the first time today. What did you think of the start?
Yeah, guys, down here on the beach at the moment, probably the biggest thing is how far they're spread out from tip to toe. That's number 1 down to 22. Kai Kinsella now comes running 22nd position, far right-hand side. You mentioned as well, the smarts of CJ Brennan, absolute masterstroke. Also, Borgie picked up a nice little wave coming back to the beach, really spread out, but advantage the front 6 or 7 in front.
Yeah, you're spot on there, and Zach Morris goes to the lead once again as they work their way through. The guys who really battled out of that start were Will Savage in 18, Odin Parrish, Dan Collins, Henry Simpson and Kai Kinsella. And when you take a look at the start list, we've got it in front of us, all of those men were sort of between 18 and 22, and on the southern end, the worst end of that start list, ski was probably going to be the hardest one for them as well, because you can't really manoeuvre it all that much. If it was the swim, they all would have gone up in there or got across a little bit cleaner. So interesting tactics. Hayden White and the team at Currumbin did a fantastic job of talking to CJ Brennan there and getting him on that other side, and I think he'll play a massive role as Finney Askew, the world champion, goes to the lead and starts to put these lads under pressure. You can't win the round here today in this first race, but you can certainly lose it. If you're not in those top 5 or 6 throughout the entire day, you're really going to sort of struggle to get yourself a race win here, because you've got to go off close enough, and it looks like these 6 are setting their day up very, very well.
Yeah, the format today, you really, as you just said, you really want to set yourself up. You don't want to be, in that back end, because it's going to be put a lot of pressure on you, not only physically but mentally as well when you're having that break to get ready. So you really want to set yourself up. We've got these top 6 men at the moment. They are having a beautiful start to the day out at the moment. Finn Askew, for me, looks really good at the moment. Yeah. You said he looks really light. I totally agree with you. He's out there at the moment working the runners. The thing about Newcastle Beach, these runners start from way, way out at sea. So you can see athletes will be coming off the apex can and getting waves in. So Finn Askew doing the best of that at the moment.
Ethan Callahan on the white, blue and gold goes around there. Just inside him, Matt Bevilacqua there, CJ Brennan tucked in, Sean Riley, Corey Taylor there, Jackson Borg as they come round. And just as you said, they spread out all over the ocean. There's enough lumps here that if you get one out the back, like Ben Carberry might have out the back on the right-hand side, he's cracked one. He'll ride that the whole way through. Braden Casamento on the left's going to have to go. I don't know if he's going to get over the top. Ali Day and Carberry come together. The 2 lads, well, from the south coast of New South Wales, both at the Warilla Barrack Point Club at one point. They're side by side now, and Day, the defending champion, Carberry finished 2nd a couple of seasons ago. They know what it takes to be at the top end of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series, but that wave just filled up, and it looks like Joe Collins on the left is not going to get down it, is he? Yep, he's going to find one there, and it's just a little bit all over the place, and maybe Braden Casamento's the big loser out of that one, stuck in the middle, and it just didn't stand up.
Yeah, Newcastle's really tricky like that. We touched on it before, just with the gutter and the potholes and also the bank. Up and away now, Zach Morris, Ben Carberry, they're sliding back on the builds. Ali Day not too far away. I saw Ali Day and Finn Askew, they took a little bit to the southern side. Joe Collins, he took it more to the north, so that'll be really interesting how that plays out. But they're up and about at the moment. They look really composed, really relaxed. I feel like they've definitely got another level to go to. I feel like the boys, potentially Finn and Joe out there, maybe just a little bit off the accelerator at the moment.
Especially when you break away so early, you look comfortable, you feel comfortable. There's Braden Casamento trying to tack back on, swims his worst leg, so he'll be trying to jump on some feet there. The other interesting part will see how much work these athletes did over that Christmas New Year break, because for some of them, they would have gone back to square one, did a lot of work, got their fitness back up after a lot of racing in sort of November, December. For others, they needed a break, and I think Finn Askew, I heard him sort of in the media say he just had a bit of time off. He went home to Southwest Rocks with the family, did a bit of surfing, a little bit of training, but not as much as he normally would have done, and he looks like $1 million right now. He looks refreshed, he looks fired up and ready to go, and sometimes a holiday's as good as any training when you really need it.
And you really need to train over the Christmas time, because at the moment this is Ironman racing. Long transitions, we've got a little bit of a wade. Get back up on your feet, wade across the sandbar, dive into the swim. I love it. It's a bit of an adventure challenge out there at the moment, and this is brutal. Newcastle, year after year that we were back here, back in the day, it's always tough. It's always really challenging, but we've had the same names up the front starting off this morning: Askew, Collins, Morris, Carberry, Casamento. Obviously, Day's in there. I have to mention, Matt Bevilacqua didn't have the best start. He actually went down a pothole in that ski, so he's done really well to make himself back into top 10.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there hasn't been much change, if I'm completely honest, throughout the field. There's a group of 6, there's another group of sort of 8 or so, 8 to 10, and then there's another little back group there, and they're jumping up and down 1 or 2 places, but it's not too much change. As we can see, Finn Askew continues to lead out to sea at the moment, and I think what we'll see for a few of these lads is they'll tuck in behind Askew, let him sort of push his way around those swim cans, and then once they turn for home, they'll maybe spend a little energy, go for broke, because the difference between finishing 5th in this opening race and finishing 1st is only 5 points. It doesn't seem like much, but it can blow out to as much as 10 seconds, 12 seconds when you get to that final. So every point counts, every place counts, every race counts for the first 2, and they'll be fighting it out all the way to home. And Ali Day looks like he's going his own way. He's trying to sneak up the inside here of Finn Askew, and it's the Surfers Paradise boys doing a fantastic job at the moment. Joey Collins hanging in there as well. Ben Carberry and Zach Morris looking great. Braden Casamento, we can see him at the top of the screen, just trying to hang on. Ty down on the beach with the coach of a couple of lads who are doing a fantastic job in this opening race.
Yeah, we spoke about the 2 leaders we've got there with the compared team, and down here at the moment, Zane Hamill made good start, but a few nerves lining up as well. I know only a minute before starting, Ali looked at you and, do I still go left? He went, yep, back yourself.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot to think about today, Ty. Like, great conditions down here at Newcastle, different sandbanks, different holes, the wind's picking up, there's a little wave coming through, and yeah, it all plays a part, and the athletes need to come up with their own plans with their coaches and be really confident in themselves and go execute as best they can. And Ali's no different to anyone else. That's a big part of it for him. And yeah, he checked in just before the starter there, and then he went out and executed really, really well.
I think execution is a key word, but also this transition. Obviously, leg fitness a key part to being successful today.
Yeah, 100%. We've got a lot of running, and it is a very important 4th leg of an Ironman race. So running, you want to have done the work to come here this weekend. It's certainly going to be a fair bit of it, both the transition up and around, and then also the wading out on that shallow sandbank. So yeah, we'll see people do really well, and some will struggle based off what they've done over Christmas.
Here we go. It's a pressure good time. Finish coming your way, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, Zane Hamill there, coach of Surfers Paradise. His boys are in 1 and 2, so very, very happy. Surfers had a rough round to open the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. They lost a few. Mitch Stitt, Max Beattie, TJ Hendy didn't qualify for round 2, but they've still got plenty of quality in here, and Ali Day goes to the lead for the first time. You can see him just a little bit of backstroke there, looking for a wave. He knows timing is everything, and if you swim past where these waves are breaking on the bank, you're going to have to pick him up broken, and he He doesn't want to do that. There's a little lump outside that's coming through, so that'll pick a couple up. Askew will probably get down this one as well, maybe Day. And we're going to have a little bit of a sprint up the beach. Do you think they go for the win here in the extra point, or do you think they just cruise up and around and save something up for race number 2?
It definitely depends how you feel at the moment. If you feel like you've pushed yourself a little bit too far, but in saying that also, remember that we've got the Iron Women up next as well.
Yeah.
So they do have that bit of a gap. I think you've really got to go for it and get as many points as you can. We've got Finn at the moment, so we've got Ali coming in second there. I don't think Ali will push too far past Finn at the moment. He looks pretty relaxed and composed, as well as Zach Morris. So they're all happy, 1, 2, 3, very strong points at the moment, and they'll be able to have a good rest now after this one.
Super Sprint Race 1 goes to the Surfers boys. Finn Askew in 1, Ali Day in 2. Zach Morris finishes in 3rd place. Maximum points for them. Fitzroy boy, Joey Collins, he comes up and around just behind Benny Carberry there. Kai Kinsella, what a swim he had. He was outside the top 10 and he swum himself into 5th place past Braden Casamento. Ethan Callahan continues to impress this summer. This is where it gets interesting. Jolie Piper, Connor Magg, Sean Riley, Jackson Borg working their way up and through. Every single point counts here. You've got to go. And especially when you're at the back half of the field, you've really got to make something happen.
You do. Really impressive swim there by Kai Kinsella. He actually brought in 30 seconds, as well as Riley Harland, about 20 seconds there in those swims. So we go, when we obviously have the Iron Women up next, but then after that, the swim will be first. So it'll be really interesting where they start off from there.
We heard from his coach. Let's hear from his athlete, Tyres, with Finn Askew.
Yeah, down with Finn boy, and mate, it's always good to get that first one done and dusted.
100%, that's always the one that hurts the most, you know. We've just had a few weeks off from racing, so it always stings being back, but to be at the front and pushing the pace in that one felt good.
Current world Ironman champion as well. You love the short course, don't you? But the conditions today very tricky out there.
Yeah, I love this stuff. Love that we got a whole heap happening, rocks, rips, banks. It's a whole deal. I think it's what surf sports is all about, so it's really exciting out there.
Back to you guys, the Watermen in form.
Yeah, in form is an understatement. It's a scary sight. You tend to get athletes, if they look good in race number 1 and they start to wind up, it tends to happen for the entire day. So watch out. Finn Askew, the world champion, wins race number 1 ahead of Ali Day. Zach Morris there in 3rd. And take a look at the start. We spoke about CJ Brennan there cutting across. It was these top 6, and 5 of the top 6 sort of, they just stayed there. It was only Casamento who faded ever so slightly there. You've got to lead early. That opening leg is so important in these short sort of 12-minute races.
Yeah, exactly. From the start there, we just see the replay there at the moment. Those top men coming through there, they stayed there. They had that nice gap off the ski. They got themselves out of trouble, and they both looked really, really great across the sand as well. And as Finn mentioned there before, there's rips, there's rocks, there's waves, there's currents, everything's going out there. So it's really a buffet at the moment for the Iron men and women.
That is an understatement, and we are feasting, that is for sure. A couple athletes with plenty of work to do. 1 race down, 2 to go for the men. We've still got the ladies to come up next, and I'm looking forward to this one. Let's take a look at the start list now.
We do have the start list. We obviously had Lana Rogers and Georgia Fitzsimmons, Olivia Corrin and Electra Alsham doing very, very well. Tiani Massey and Lizzie Bourne, both these 2 girls, watch out, they are in form. Naomi Scott, very, very good, working her way through. The young gun, Jasmine Raywood, look out for her in the ski. Emma Woods, she has been phenomenal this season, as well as Lucy Derbyshire. She's just been consistent. Kalani Ives, the next gen, love the way she approaches her racing, as well as Carla Pack back there. Hannah Scully, experience, it'll take her all the way, as well as Grace Harris. We'll see. Haven't seen the best of her yet, so looking forward to that. Dom Stitt, also very strong, and Lily O'Sullivan, she is a world multiple champion at the moment. Annalise Kibble and Claudia Kelly, both very strong in the craft legs. Look out for them there. Gemma Smith, our Coolangatta Gold winner, and we saw Bella Williams. She's got the whole local fan support out there at the moment. A young gun. Pipi Tapena, I like where she's on the list at the moment. So, and Mia Cook also wrapping up the field.
Yeah, Pipi Tapena down in that number 1 slot at the other end of the field. That's Georgia Fitz, former champion, 2nd last summer. Which of the girls will grab the ski? Which ones will head down to the rip? I think a couple, look at that. Bang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carla Papak going over there as well. Pipi Tapena at that end, and you could see many, many more of the girls heading over there. There is Gemma Smith on the pink. The green cap with the blue ski is Tiani Massey. Jasmine Raywood. Have a look at the centre. Hannah Scully. Don't worry about it on the purple. She doesn't need the rip. She can use the bank. Big set coming through. Wave of the day comes through an absolute absolutely slams a few of these girls, and maybe is that on the far side, Annalise Kibble, who snuck away there, up and over for Tiani Massey, Jasmine Raywood as well. One snuck away at the top, the rest of the field's been obliterated. The surf stood up, and a couple of the absolute superstars of the sport have been hammered. World ski champion Olivia Corrin off, gone. Couple of the girls backwards and copping another one there. It's not big at Newcastle, but it packs a punch.
It is. It's very, very powerful out there. We saw Gemma Smith get hit. She is the best paddler, the best ski paddler, should I say, one of them in the field. And the fact that she got pushed back was really interesting. But if we move back to the start, we saw Annalise Kibble and Lily O'Sullivan. They actually ran back around. Georgia Fitzsimmons, she just backed where she was and went out straight. So it'll be really interesting to see where we're at. But unfortunately, Bella Williams there, and it looks like Mia Cook, unfortunately, they got the worst of that.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You can have everything, all the skills, all the fitness, all the ability, and when Mother Nature wants to punch you in the mouth, that's what happens. And it doesn't look big here at Newcastle Beach, but there's not a lot of water on the bank, and it is really throwing down for these girls. So we go back to the start here, and we saw almost immediately, they'd watched what happened in the boys' race. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're cutting across, and have a look at the girl. She was the far end. It was Kibble there. Blue ski, red nose, keeps going, keeps going. She's in the centre there. At the moment, 5 or 6 skis back, but wait and watch when this wave comes through. She'll skip up over the top and be in the lead.
Yeah, she did so well, and she really backed herself where she was going. We just see, as you said, Annalise Kibble on the northern side there. Look at that, just powering away. She really made the right decision, and as you said, Josh, look at that. Clear water, well done to Kibble.
It takes courage too, because you're right on the rocks. She could put her hand down and feel those rocks there. If something goes wrong, oh, like that one there, skis in the air, craft everywhere. If something goes wrong, you smash your craft, your day's done. She just risked it. She would have been feeling the rocks with her paddle, but it doesn't matter. Big risk, big reward. Kibble still leads on the way home, and this is where these girls got absolutely obliterated. It's not big, but bang, right in the face of a couple of girls. One ski goes flying, you got to grab it, and we're back to live shots on the way home, and it's Annalise Kibble working her way back to the beach out in front from the Newport Club in Sydney. She's been on the podium before, but she's only a relative newcomer in her second series.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Yeah, had her debut last year, and she's always been known as a craft competitor, but her ski paddling, her swim leg has been just going further and further. We've seen her up the front, not too far behind Coolangatta Gold champion Gemma Smith and Tiani Massey. Look out for Tiani Massey, the pocket rocket coming through. Here we go, the girls are up and away, and they look good.
Yeah, Ty Dowker down on the beach. Annalise Kibble is absolutely flying.
Yeah, Annalise Kibble in front, ladies and gentlemen, but the big drummer, Lucy Derbyshire, has lost her ski about 30 metres from the shore and is now swimming. She's just picked up a broken wave as well. She put the anchors over, not to go that lead way with the leaders, but then caught in the impact zone. She's going to come in, what's that, 17th position at the moment. Expect a big move. And right in front of that, of Lucy Derbyshire, is Lana Rods. Expect big moves from Lana and Luce.
Yeah, it's go time for these ladies, and I just looked at my notes then. The race that Kibble finished on the podium in last year was Super Sprint. It's the one she loves, and so it was her best ever result, a second place. And outside of that, she sort of ended up with some 13ths and 15ths, but this one, she must just really enjoy that format. She leads Smith, Massey, Scully, Raywood, Kelly, Claudia Kelly, Naomi Scott, Fitz, Woods, and Lily O'Sullivan were your top 10 as they go through. Ski, board, swim is the order, and that opening ski leg, it has really shook things up, and Derbyshire is just getting across, lost over 30 seconds to the leaders there. That's her grabbing her board and heading into the water now, and big mistakes. And I guess Ironwoman racing, and you know this better than anyone, you can be fast, but it's also about not making mistakes, because every mistake you make opens the gap a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and you make 3 or 4, and all of a sudden you're 30 seconds down and you're battling for your life here in the Shore and Partners Iron Series.
And if you do make a mistake, you have to really relax and compose yourself and not let it rattle you. Lana Rogers coming in 13th, 26 seconds behind, and then we go back a little bit further as well. Olivia Corrin, 45 seconds. Lucy Derbyshire, 33 seconds. So those 3 women have been up the front. We saw them in round 1, so they've got a bit of work to do, but Annalise Kibble, no surprise to see her out in front. She is really, really looking good at the moment. She doesn't have a weak leg either. She's worked so hard on her swimming. Out in front at the moment. she's there with that wonderful Newport squad of girls. They really are just flying through there. And Tiani Massey being tactical there, she's just trying to creep up on the back there of Annalise Kibble just to save a little bit of her energy at the moment, because remember, this is race 1 and we've still got 2 more to go.
You can see how strung out the girls are there, and the plan getting onto the board would have been to just tack onto the board in front of you and try and hold on out to that can, work hard on the way home, because you've still got swim leg to go at the end here. Kibble turns, and like you said, out of the Newport club, coach Trent Herring down there does a fantastic job. A lot of quality athletes there, and it's Trent Herring's Gemma Smith in 3rd place as well as they go around the can on that pink board. So Newport having a hell of a day there. Tiani Massey from Maroochydore in 2nd place splits them, and you can see how much of a difference. Only 3 or 4 seconds that opening ski leg, but Kibble just looks so good, and she's got the experience of having Gemma Smith there, Lizzie Wellborn at the club, who've been there, done that. They've won the big races. They've been part of this series for such a long time. She would have learnt from those girls at training every single day, and it was only a matter of time before we saw her really sort of deliver here at the big stage. And I think we're seeing another big performance from Annalise Kibble as she cracks one on the way home.
Oh, beautiful wave then. She just did that. So she's looking, when you have an athlete who's doing really well, they make everything look easy. Yeah. What Annalise is doing at the moment is not easy, and she's just flowing through. Her face looks really relaxed. She's going into the swim, and yeah, she looks incredible out there. I have to say, the girls, the iron women out there were finding it quite tricky to get around the cans. That's because that wind, that northerly coming there is kind of pushing them around the cans. But for Annalise, no worries about that. She's out in front. She doesn't have to worry about going around the can with anyone.
Like we said in the men's race as well, you get out in front, a little bit of confidence, and you've got your own space. You're not fighting around the cans. You're not sort of pushing and shoving. And a couple of girls got absolute flyer waves on the way home there. And I think maybe Claudia Kelly ended up in no man's land and just sort of couldn't get down one. So Kibble up and around. She leads after 2 legs of the opening race and looks super comfortable through transition. There, the rest of the chase pack working very, very hard. Gemma Smith up into 2nd place. The Shaw and Partners Coolangatta Gold champion from last year, and well, she's going to go all day. An absolute engine on Gemma Smith. So consistent, so strong. Had some time out of the sport. We spoke about that. Tried to go to Paris, and couple of big movers in that last one there. There's Naomi Scott in the green. She's the world champion. Tiani Massey's the other one wearing the green. Hannah Scully there as well. It looks like Lily O'Sullivan working her way up and around. The world surf and board race champion. You don't want to mess with Lily O'Sullivan.
Definitely not. She's been swimming absolutely remarkable at the moment. We just looked through with the women coming through. Lana Rogers, she'd be angry after what happened before. She doesn't want to be in 13th. So she's going to pull the likes of Lizzie Wellborn, Lucy Derbyshire, Georgia Fitzsimmons, Emma Woods, all those women coming through. So that's, I believe, where the speed is going to come at the moment, because they don't want to end up with a 9th, 10th, 13th. They want to get up there really, as we said, in that top 5 going into this 2nd race. So look for that where the speed is. But at the moment, it's all Annalise Kibble. And one point I have to comment about Annalise, she has read this swell. I saw her yesterday. She was watching, spent the time looking at Newcastle, and Newcastle is very, very challenging to read, but Annalise Kibble absolutely has focused on that. She's put the time in it like Shannon Eckstein used to do, and it's like all coming. Oh, God, I don't know about that. I never did as well as Annalise, but she is doing the right thing at the moment.
And it's not a big thing. It's not like they sit there for hours on end watching the surf. It's a 5-minute, okay, the water's coming this way, a conversation with the handler, a conversation with the coach, come up with a race plan that you both believe with, and then you go in there and deliver. And somebody who did that really well in the men's race was CJ Brennan, and I think he's down on the beach with Ty Dowker.
Yeah, we talk about a smart race always being a fast race. The CJ Brennan race won 15, 20 minutes ago, decided to go left. Did you lock that in this morning or only just before the race?
In the warm-up, me and Whitey saw that little hole in the bank, and we just decided to make the run for it. And if it paid off, it would have worked, and it clearly worked. So
gave some dividends in race 1. What did you learn from race 1 to make you better now coming up in race 2?
Just got to work the transitions in that bank, and it'll pay a big difference.
There you go, CJ Brennan. Back to you guys.
Yeah, standout performance. He got a podium in round 1 at Wanda in December, and he's come out again and continued to perform. And I think the days are gone where these young guns, they come into the Shaw and Partners Iron Series and they struggle a little bit. They come and they arrive, and now, bang, they're straight to the top. And CJ Brennan's an example of that. Annalise Kibble's an example of that, just in her 2nd summer at the top level, and she's leading a race by this far. It would have been unheard of back in the day, and now it seems to be more the regular.
Yeah, definitely. She's been very, very consistent and pushing herself up the front there. And as you said, in her first debut series, she got a second.
Yeah.
So not many athletes do that. And as we said, that there's just that little wave just off the can there. So Annalise Kibble just off the back there, and everyone else the opposite to Annalise coming out there, just had to duck dive under. So she's coming back to the north a little bit. She's seen something there. So where that whitewash is at the moment, that's where Kibble is heading towards, and that's where the bigger waves are going to be.
I think you called it as well. Big mover in yellow, Lana Rogers. You can see her in the background. Went into that swim in 7th place, has worked past 3 people up into 4th. Hasn't gone past Naomi Scott and Tiani Massey. They're the girls in green just there. They're all chasing Annalise Kibble, number 20. She finished 15th last summer, got through the trial, and she is absolutely flying at the moment, studying Bachelor of Med Science at university. Smart cookie as well, and one of the nicest people on the beach. And I don't think anyone would be upset with a win here from Kibble. She's a popular young lady in this series, and she is absolutely flying. And you don't see leads this big in races this short very often. And have a look at the stroke there. Nice high elbow, good kick there. And she doesn't look like she's working all that hard, and it looks super comfortable from Annalise Kibble out in front. I think she can maybe just pull her back a gear or two, cruise herself through to the finish line here, and it looks like she's going to take maximum points at this weight.
Absolutely. I think she can, if she wants to put the brakes on a little bit. If she certainly gets a body surfing wave, she'll be able to cruise on in there. Naomi Scott working very hard as well. She really, from, I guess, looking at Naomi Scott from her past, she works into the series. She almost gets better every single round or race that she goes through. So we just see Annalise just popping there up at the moment. We saw Finn Askew do the same. But Josh out the back, there's a little bit, someone's just milked a good wave there.
Yeah, they just keep standing up the back, and a few get a little push down. Someone's got an absolute flyer down on that right-hand side. We'll wait to see who stands up, but it's Kibble. It's Lily O'Sullivan. Lily O'Sullivan stands up in 2nd place, so great swim from the World Surf Race champion. She went in 6th, will come out in 2nd place. We can see behind her Lana Rogers, Tiani Massey, they stand up as well. Kibble in 1, O'Sullivan in 2. Rogers going through that gutter, and that is a pesky gutter for these athletes. It's going to get harder and harder to get through as the tide comes back in and starts to fill up. Kibble, maximum points, race number 1. You've got to be happy with that. She better be careful because Lily O'Sullivan's got wheels. And if she's not too careful, O'Sullivan will try and go past her here at the finish line. No dramas at all. From Newport in Sydney, Annalise Kibble wins race 1 of Super Sprint. O'Sullivan, Rogers, Tiani Massey, 1, 2, 3 and 4 across the line. You've got to be there if you want to be there in the final race.
You absolutely do. All those girls coming at the moment, Kibble, O'Sullivan, Rogers, Massey, they're setting themselves up for a very, very good last race at the moment. Naomi Scott, she was out there in front. We haven't seen Georgia Fitzsimmons. She's on screen at the moment. So Scully's in. Also Electra Altram. She's been very, very good. Lucy Derbyshire, well done. She came through.
Fought her way back after that start.
Yeah. Absolutely. As well as Lizzie Wellborn as well. So we'll go through the rounds there. Gemma Smith just dropped off. There's Georgia Fitzsimmons 13th. But we'll go down to Ty at the moment because I think he has Annalise Kibble on the beach with him.
Yeah, down the beach, Annalise Kibble. Let's go back, 12 months ago, podium finished 2nd at Maroubra last year. You're used to being up in front. How'd that feel?
Oh, it was so nice to be back up the front. I really enjoy this format, and these conditions are just a lot of fun to play around with. There's some good chop, there's a longer break than we usually get, and I'm just glad to be here.
Past netballer, good leg fitness. Look out, race 2 coming up. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, past netballer and a hell of an Iron Woman, that is for sure. Race 2 is coming up, but what a start so far. We've seen, mistakes. They're the killer here at Newcastle Beach. You make one and your chances of getting a win go out the window. Head further down the page, there are results. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. That start, so important. It's the only race today where ski will be off first. Things will be a little different in race 2 and 3, that is for sure. But getting into that rip, so important. We'll see the athletes go there all day long, and it doesn't seem big, but when some of the best athletes in the world are getting hammered by this shore break here, it's absolutely hammered. Stick with us. We'll be back after the break. This is the Shaw & Partners Iron Series from Newcastle Beach. Welcome back. Shaw & Partners Iron Series from Newcastle, the Steel City. We love being here in this part of the world. Courtney Hancock joining me in the commentary booth. Super sprint today. We've had race 1 of both the men and the women. It's time for race 2. Then we'll do the calculations, set an order, and it's all about winning race number 3.
It is in a moment. We need to have, some athletes, they know where they're at now. Some of them need a bigger race than others. So this will be really, really interesting. They know the course now. They know what the conditions are doing. They all know that northern side has that rip. So here we are. There's Connor Maggs on screen, off for a big one.
Expect a big swim from the man closest to us. Swim, ski, board is the order. They go through the gutter, get the legs up, get the knees out. A couple go over. I think Finn Askew stumbled in the middle there, and the fastest man across the sand, Zach Morris. He absolutely hammers. There is not too many Ironmen, and I would say not too many surf athletes who are quicker waiting than Zach Morris.
Yeah, Zach Morris would definitely have to be the quickest Ironman off that start at the moment. He had a very solid first race, so if he can continue his performance into this round 2, he'll be looking almost to go off first in that last one.
You're spot on there. I think that's Joel Piper at the top of the screen there. A couple of the lads decided to go the rip. Doesn't make as much a difference in this swim leg as it did on the ski, because you can get across the bank, you can probably wait a little bit longer there. You can see to the two groups that have sort of formed, and I think Joel Piper there with the cap leading on the left-hand side, and it's definitely, or the top side there, and it's definitely Zachy Morris leading at the bottom there, absolutely hammering. Maybe Joe Collins in second place. I just can't quite pick him up at the moment. Finn Askew's worked his way through ever so slightly with Sean Riley as well there in those green togs, and well, the local man, Dan Collins, he's wearing the green cap, maybe 5 back from Zach Morris there as they head into that first turning can. And with a little bit of work to do, the rest of the field up north's going to have to come back towards Morris.
Yeah, we just saw that rip. It maybe didn't work as well as it did in the swim, and that's what happens. Board, swim and ski, all very different paces. Kine Kinsella's definitely making his way. He's just on top, middle of the screen there as well. Ben Carberry not too far behind as well, but Zach Morris, Joe Collins, they're training buddies. They know each other. They'd be looking at each other eye to eye, being, okay, we've been in this position before, and after that, it's going to be a real bit of a car jam, definitely going in that first can.
Here they go now. I think I've miscalled it there. That's Finney Askew going around in 3rd place there. So I thought he tripped over. It might have been maybe Ali Day who's gone down, because he's only getting around that can now, just ahead of Ethan Callahan, and it is Ty Dowker on the beach. It was a frantic start for these men.
Yeah, Riley Fitzsimmons down here on the beach, obviously husband of Georgia Fitzsimmons as well, mate. That was tough. Finished about midfield, but you need the luck of the ocean on your side coming back to the beach, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, she finished up midfield, and it's super tricky out there, but it's all about that last race today, getting to that 3rd and final, putting yourself in a good position to make those points and put yourself in a good position to make the cut tomorrow.
Skills pay the bills. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Riley Fitz there. Well, what an athlete he is. Olympic medalist in kayaking from the Paris Games. I think a 3-time Olympian as well. And he's a hell of a surf competitor as well. Not quite an Ironman, but you put him on a ski and he's just about as good as anyone. Morris leads, Askew in 2nd place. Maybe Riley Harland at the top there, starting to work into it in the pink top, really winding up. And, well, some young guns here. This is generation next. Morris, Askew, Harland. These are the names we'll be talking about for the next 10 years in the sport. As a little wave stands up, I don't think anyone's going to get down. Oh, maybe they will. It stood up. Ethan Callahan on the left-hand side. CJ Brennan in the middle. I didn't think anyone was going to get down that. These boys are magicians.
Brennan and Callahan were actually almost just that meter back from Zach Morris, Askew and Collins, but they just got into that beautiful slipstream there, and they're both quite tall, long men out there, and they really are, they're pool swimming. They've definitely been coached well there, and look at this. They just go straight across that. They didn't even do any dolphin diving, so the big legs are up and away at the moment. Callahan, he's definitely getting used to this spot, but we'll go down to Ty on the beach there.
Yeah, we just spoke about schools paying the bills as well. And what about that? Like, it's a masterclass of surfing. Ethan Callahan and CJ Brennan. We spoke about a number of years how well and just combined to that of unison with the ocean of CJ Brennan. Finn Askew come around now. Ali Day right behind him. Riley Brannan and Zach Morris. 3 of the top 6 still up there.
Yeah, Ty. And what about the next generation? To be completely honest, it's only really Ali Day of the old heads. We've got Ethan Callahan, just 18 years of age. CJ Brennan, he's 20 years of age. Zachy Morris, he's 21 in there. Finney Askew, 21 as well. Just young guns that are in the mix at the moment, and it's Ali Day fighting back. Joe Collins, he's only been in the series for sort of 4 seasons, and he's 22. Like, these guys, they're generation next, and Ali Day's the only one putting up a fight against the changing of the guard.
And this is going to be really interesting. We just see Connor Maggs on screen there at the moment, whether the men are going to run over to that northern side and get the rip, or like Connor Maggs, he's just gone straight out there. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens there, but we've got no change in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, all that field's gone down basically, except one or two. I don't know who it was. Maybe Riley Harlan jumped straight in on that one there, but the rest of the field you can see all on that right-hand side. The rocks in the water there. There's only maybe an inch or two of water running across the top of that, enough to get a ski. Maybe the rudder will hit every now and again, but sitting out in front, CJ Brennan, he has really done something different this year, because in the last couple of years he was super talented. We knew he was going to have a big future, but he just couldn't quite crack it at that open level. This year he's gone second at the World Championships in the surf race, qualified for the Shore and Partners Iron Series, straight into a podium, and now leading race 2 of round number 2. He's gone to the level I think everybody thought he had in there, one of the top of the tree.
And a reminder, the 20-year-old, this is his first series, so he hasn't done this format ever. This is the first time in his life that he has done this. Ethan Callahan, he won the Next Gen, so he's coming in here in the moment. So it's really, they're rookies out here, but they're definitely not racing like rookies at all.
Let's take a look on the right-hand side. This is the moment in the swim where Ethan Callahan and Callum Brennan go down. Brennan kept the head down, kept the kick going, went past a couple guys, and we keep saying skills pay the bills, but it is such an important thing for young athletes coming through to know that you've got to keep the head down, that gets the hips up, keep your speed through that water there, because look at the advantage and look at the difference it can make.
Yeah, we just saw beautiful body surfing there as well. They had their feet up in the air, so they didn't even have to kick. They just really, almost like a dolphin through the waves there. But this is where all the action is happening in the moment. We definitely need big races from Corey Taylor, Matt Bevilacqua, and Jackson Borg in that first race. We're a little bit behind, so Bevy just on screen there, really picking up the pace.
Connor Maggs, Sean Riley, Dan Collins, Corey Taylor going in and around there. That's Kai Taylor working his way through, Joel Piper, Kai Kinsella, Odin Parrish, Braden Casamento. The purple and black is Henry Simpson, Jackson Borg with a little bit of work to do as well. And, well, Will Savage on the back end as CJ Brennan gets one out in front, looking very, very comfortable. Great skills there, but big moves on the way up from a couple of our athletes. But Riley Harlan not going the rip has dropped him from 4th place. He's now in a battle around that sort of 13th, 14th, 15th, so not taking the rip, 10-spot drop.
And it's a bit of fatigue as well when you come out of each leg. So he might have been a bit fatigued and forgotten to actually go over to the left. So we'll wait and see. But CJ Brennan, Ethan Callahan, they're getting used to these positions, are they? We saw round 1, both of these two men were right up the front. So they're definitely getting more comfier. And I tell you what, for the experienced men out there, they've got to get onto them because they are looking very good out in front and getting used to it as well.
Callahan goes around, Finn Askew in the next one under the arch. Have a look at them both, but big, tall lads, 6'2", 6'3", and in this sport, that's sort of bigger than average, but it's the long levers that make them so good. Swim, board and ski, long arms, so important there. You get more catch. Corey Taylor, Cooper Williams, Riley Harlan and Matt Bevilacqua. Riley Harlan, the big loser from that ski leg. Ty Dowker.
Yeah, Finn Askew's got off to a good start again in this one, sitting in 3rd, and Ali Day in the mix. Usual, so Ben Carberry there as well, but Ethan Callahan, we spoke about the youth coming through, and I've got Trav Callahan, dad here, made good start here in race 2.
Yeah, he's not feeling terribly well, but he's just needs to hang in there and try and get through the weekend and get a race on his home beach at North Burleigh.
He was a nipper at North Burleigh. Hang in there. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Trav, quite a handy competitor as well back in his day. Over from WA, now resides on the Gold Coast. And, well, his son doing a fantastic job in 2nd place. Finn Askew and Ali Day, it's almost like they're working together. They're just side by side in race 1, side by side in race 2. That's Askew on the black, Day on the red board there. Look at Joe Collins behind them. The rating so high, trying to get himself back up and into it. Zach Morris and Ben Carberry, that's your top 7 or 8 as they head out to sea at the moment. And, well, CJ Brennan looking comfortable. Ethan Callahan's there, Askew and Day. They've been here 1,000 times, and so's Ben Carberry. But for a few of these other boys, this is, well, territory they're not too familiar with.
Well, Ironman number 2, the auto swim, ski, board going to that last leg at the moment. And we look at Askew, Day, Carberry, Morris, Collins, Callahan, Brennan, they all had very good results in the top 1. So I think we're looking at potentially the top 7 that are going to be called out in that last 3, because I'm looking at the results of all these men here, and they've all had really, really strong. We just see Ali Day just taking a really wide turn there. I'm not too sure why he's done that at the moment, but it could have been an accident, or he saw potentially a bit of a runner. He wanted to go out to see a bit, but we'll wait and see in a second. But these two men, Callahan, Brennan, they've been side by side the whole way, so we'll see if they can hold on.
You don't see Ali Day make mistakes all that often as they turn and go for home. Finn Askew winds up there. The boards will lift a little bit, the rating will go up. They'll start to run down when Ali Day gets back into it there in the red in the background, coming up alongside CJ Brennan. Joe Collins from Fitzroy in New Zealand's there as well. It's a bit of a drag race for home. Ali Day on the outside winds up and goes down one, and Ethan Callahan caught in no man's land at the moment. He cannot find a runner.
Well, you've always talked about moments in racing, and Ali Day, this could be his moment that could get him going off the gun. So we'll wait and see how that goes. He wouldn't have been off the gun before because he obviously had Askew would have gone off in front of him, but Ali Day might just take this top spot, and you don't want to give Ali Day even a second. So the men behind him are going to have to work really, really hard, because 2 seconds, Ali Day, we've seen it before, could blow that out to 10 seconds.
It's a scary thought. We'll take the points from race 1 and race 2, add them up. That will determine the order in which they leave in race number 3. 2-second gaps. If you've got the same points, you go together. Then there's a 4-second gap back to the next athlete. Ali Day finds something special. CJ Brennan not too far behind him as well. The rest of the boys will be charging here because they know every single place counts. I want to give you an Ali Day stat. The last 8 races he's done in the Shaw and Partners Iron Series, he's won 5 of them. 5 out of the last 8 is scary good in this quality of field, and he looks damn good today as well.
That is a great result, and definitely scary for his competitors, but they all know that. They know how good he is. So there we have Ali Day on screen in that leaders yellow singlet at the moment. Here we have Morris and Carberry. They're going to be up the front as well. They've had a very strong day. Brennan came in second there. Askew is in number 3. Callahan 4th position as well. So it's going, and Joe Collins there in 5th. So it's going to be really tight. Remember, it's 2 seconds between each, but they do get a little bit of a rest. We'll see the Iron Women not too far away. We just see Kai Kinsella coming round there, and Odin Parrish, he needed to have a big race, so we'll see how he goes in that. But Ben Carberry rounds out that 7th position at the moment, so we'll wait and see what those results are.
Yeah, Mags, Taylor, Bevel Aqua did well to get back in the top 10. Williams, Harlan, Collins, Piper, Kinsella, Odin Parrish, Sean Riley. A lot of changes, up, down, depending on the legs there. A few guys I thought would have gone a little bit better than that. We'll take a look at the replay of that one, and the weight at the start from Zach Morris, but it was here that this race was won and lost for these two men, especially out in front. Ali Day, he's unstoppable, he's undeniable, and it's a scary sight for these athletes. As they get more tired, you know Ali Day's going to get better.
Ali, he's so good at just finishing off his races. He kind of puts it all together, and he, those little pieces, and even if he makes a metre or 2 metres, they're just in the right moments, and he did that in the right moment. He went a little bit wide. He took it out to the south. He wanted to go to the south, and he really hooked up that wave. So Ali's looking at the goods at the moment. We can't confirm it as of yet, but it's looking like he will go off first. He'll be very close anyway in that top area. So, but he has got some fierce competition not too far behind.
Yeah, we're doing unofficial calculations, and it looks like he's finished 1 point in front of Finn Askew. Of course, this is all unofficial. It'll be Day, Askew, Morris, Collins, Carberry, Brennan, Callahan, Mags, Kinsella, Harlan, Bevilacqua is your top 11 there, with Corey Taylor not too far behind. And we'll take a look at the results from race number 2. We'll do the calculations, and then we'll give you the official ones there. Day, CJ Brennan, Finn Askew. The Service Paradise boys looking very, very good at the moment. 1 and 3. Callahan, Collins, Morris, Carberry, Mags, Taylor, and Bevilacqua 10 there. We'll go off roughly there. A little bit further down, bit of a fade there for Riley Harland after sitting second early on. Collins, the local lad. Jackson Borg, Braden Casamento at the bottom of that 20. Head over the page for 2 more of these men, and well, there's a hell of a task for Henry Simpson and Will Savage. They will go off 40 and 42 seconds behind. They are, well, 21 and 22 in this race, and will be 21 and 22 in race number 3. Those calculations will get done. We'll bring them to you. Next up, ladies, race number 2, swim, ski, board. Do you expect more of the same, or are we going to see something a little different here, Courtney Hancock?
It'll be really interesting, you know, whether it's going to be, similar to the men's, but we just on screen there, we have Raywood. Tiani Massey off for a flyer. She's out in the middle there, but we did see Kibble, Massey, Rogers, O'Sullivan, Scott, Scully, they were the leaders. And then we just see Naomi Scott. We talk about Zach Morris with that strong start. Naomi Scott has been the quickest across that sandbar for swimming for the likes of a couple of years.
She is the world Ironwoman champion, and she won it this way. Swim first, got out in front, broke the back of the field, just got an unassailable lead that they couldn't bring back. And I think that's the plan here. Get away, get yourself in clean water, and every single race, the top 6 coming out of that first leg has basically been the top 6 for the entire field. So it's Scott at the top, green cap there, Tiani Massey just below her. Maybe Georgia Fitz at the bottom there. I'm just trying to catch that one as well. Not too far behind. A couple other real big guns there on the top side. Is that Kibble there starting to work her way into it. Kalani Ives, the next gen athlete in the red, she's got off to a great start as well. So the girls are off and flying at the moment. Swim is the opening leg, and body surfing might come into it as those waves start to stand up here at Newcastle Beach. You've got to be in the right place at the right time, but you've got to make sure that you body surf it the whole way home. As at the bottom in the yellow, Lana Rogers, the defending champ, starts to work her way through.
Yeah, Rogers has put herself in a really good position there. She's not resting at the moment, but she's just set herself up on the inside there, and looks like she's just behind Georgia Fitzsimmons as well. So we might actually head down to the beach. Ty Dowker's got an athlete with us.
Yeah, just spoke about Kalani Ives in the red being the next gen, but what about this man? Look at your man Mountain, Ethan Callahan, 2 down, 1 to go. How are you feeling?
Oh yes, pretty cooked. 2 races down, just 1 to go. So just got to put it all out there in this last race.
He's a man that doesn't show much emotion. What's going inside the mind, mate, as you line up for this race 3, ready to rock and roll?
I'm just getting ready to do the race plan well, and then yeah, just get ready to go out there and try my best.
There's that word, execution. Back to you guys.
Yeah, he's a good young lad, and I think when you get him off camera, he's a lot more relaxed and he's sneaky funny as well. He has a couple of one-liners that I really enjoy, but he's all serious business midway through Super Sprint, and we are midway through the opening leg of ladies race number 2 here. And it's still Naomi Scott leads out in front, Tiani Massey on the left-hand side, Georgia Miller on the right-hand side. In the centre, Lucy Derbyshire not far away, Lana Rogers is in there as well. All the girls in green sort of winding up there, not too many that have drifted out of this one. So the girls in green, of course, they're the ones that automatically qualified from last year's summer. They ended up in the top sort of 12 overall last year, got an automatic spot. The girls in pink, they're the ones who had to go through the trial, and it's all the top rated ladies at the front at the moment. And have a look at Naomi Scott go, just really winding up.
Yeah, she's been swimming so well, not only this season, but multiple seasons back to back. Lily O'Sullivan's taken a little bit of a different line coming through. She's on the south side, and Georgia Fitzsimmons is in the middle. So that's how we're looking at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi Scott's got a bit of Taylor Swift in her head at the moment. It's her favourite artist, so she likes to listen to her. So that might be kind of an insight to what's going on with the athletes. But Naomi Scott just misses off the back of that one. She worked incredibly hard, and she's got nice long legs, so she won't be too far. As I said that, she's just up and about at the moment. Just has a little look. We see Lily O'Sullivan just waiting there. She might have to get going because these waves aren't very strong.
Yeah, that is Naomi Scott there. You picked it. Lily O'Sullivan's cracked that one as well. Pippi DePagna wasn't too far away. The youngest lady in the series, 16 years of age, just gets left behind. And they stand up side by side. 4 of them. Tiani Massey at the top. Naomi Scott just drifting back, goes over. Lily O'Sullivan in the pink, and that's Georgia Miller, number 2 in there. Not too far behind as well. Lucy Derbyshire stands up, starts to get a wriggle on, and really starts to get into her work there. She's one that I expect to be very, very good this season as Lily O'Sullivan for Burleigh goes up and around. Ty Dowker, what have you got for us?
Yeah, well, this race 2, really more congested. We can see at the moment Lily O'Sullivan in great form, G's back as well. And it's only a matter of 40 or 50 metres back to the tail end at the moment. And we're just trying to pick them up at the moment. Gemma Smith there as well. So this one, a lot more congested going out into the other ski leg.
Yeah, you're spot on there. Only sort of 10 to 12 seconds separating the top half of the field, or most of the field, if I'm completely honest. And we take a little bit further down. Kibble, who won race 1 in 10th place there. Olivia Corrin down in 15th. Jazzy Raywood. I would have expected more from her in that opening swim leg, part of the Australian Junior Open Water Swim team in the past. And Emma Woods down in 22nd place. She's had a bit of a drama over the last couple of months, obviously. Dislocated shoulder a few weeks ago, and you can see the girls. Lizzie Wellborn on the yellow, Lana Rogers, is that her in there on the pink? Didn't go all the way into that gutter there, sort of half caught the bank, and indecision's the biggest enemy. You either go the gutter or the bank, you don't go half and half.
and it was just really congesting there. O'Sullivan actually got hit back onto that bank, and when you're paddling on a sandbar on the ski, it's very slow. It's very gritty to get going. It's almost paddling kind of through concrete. So that's why the girls are finding it really hard to get through. As soon as they get out onto that green waters, we see we've got Gemma Smith out there, we've got Carla Packback as well, Dom Stitz out there. They're looking a bit easier because they're out in that clean open water. So as Ty mentioned before, it is very different to the men's. It's very, very congested, and it's going to be really interesting. We've got, obviously we've been through the swim, we're on the ski leg and the board to go.
Naomi Scott in 1, Georgia Fitz in 2, Tiani Massey in 3. Then a little bit above her, that's Lucy Derbyshire, Electra Outram, and Annalise Kibble's gone from 10th up into basically 3rd place there with a hell of a ski leg. Carla Papak on the red, not too far behind her. Lily O'Sullivan ducks into the centre. The yellow ski is Dom Stitt with Gemma Smith going up the inside there. Lizzie Wellborn on the bright yellow down the bottom, working her way in behind Lana Rogers. So a couple of the big guns there. That first yellow ski you see down the line, that's Dom Stitt. You go 3 or 4 more back, that is Lizzie Wellborn, Lana Rogers, 1 and 2 in round number 1. Got a lot of work to do in race number 2.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do. Wellborn, she got in that top 10 position, but that's not going to be enough for her to go necessarily in that top 10 in that final leg. Good races we needed from Fitzsimmons, which we've seen her out in front there. Harris, Packpat, Williams and Corrin. They were the girls I was looking at that need a big race.
Bit of drama for Dom Stitt there. Wasn't really turning as she was trying to go round. Pippi DePania there. There's Lana Rogers on the pink, Lizzie Wellborn on the yellow, Hannah Scully on the purple, Jasmine Raywood on the green there. Then there's a gap back, but out in front, Naomi Scott from Northcliffe on the right, Georgia Fitz from Northcliffe on the left, and splitting them up the middle, Lucy Derbyshire from Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast.
I feel like Naomi Scott at the moment is really working the water legs at the moment. I felt in the run she kind of sat back a little bit, was happy to kind of not get up first and get going. You know, we saw the likes of Georgia Fitz, she got up and got going, but I feel like Naomi Scott at the moment working the water legs. They are a little bit longer than what we've seen before, and at the moment, I mean, she is the Australian ski champion at the moment, so there's no surprise to see her out in front.
Goes back to the front, that is for sure. World Ironwoman champion, Australian ski race champion there. Great technique. The wave behind, a few go down. Gemma Smith, what a paddle from her. She's paddled from well outside the top 10 up in 20th place going onto the ski. And now, Outram goes sideways. Electra Outram goes sideways from Sunshine Beach. Luckily, she's close. Dump the ski and go, girl. She's going to get those legs up and winding, but it's those little mistakes. They're all chasing Naomi Scott, the leader. There's Georgia Fitz, Tiani Massey, Gemma Smith, a hell of a paddle. That's unbelievable. Electra Outram, that mistake's going to cost her. But Georgia Fitz goes up and around through transition, and she's gone past Naomi Scott.
Yeah, board to go. This is going to really be the challenge for the girls who's got that leg strength coming through. So Georgia looks a lot better in this number 2. Naomi Scott's look good all day. Same with Massey as well. We see the young gun, Pippi Tapania. There's our first round winner of Kibble. So she's still in there, but she'd want to shuffle up a bit if she wants to kind of head off in that 1, 2 or 3, just get her position a little bit higher.
Spot on. Tapania there, Annalise Kibble not too far. Carla Papak was in the mix, Dom Stitt, Lucy Derbyshire. There's Jasmine Raywood, great ski leg. Lizzie Wellborn, Hannah Scully, Lily O'Sullivan, Kalani Ives. The girls are onto the board and into their work. Watch for Lucy Derbyshire. She's tough as nails. She is an absolute animal when it comes to third legs. And there's board paddling and then there's board paddling tired, and they're two different things. You don't understand it until you've been a part of it. And sometimes you might not be the best at it, but when you're tired and everyone's struggling, you just find another level. And there's been some athletes who are special. Yourself, one of them, those third legs. Lucy Derbyshire is one of those athletes.
Yeah, she looks the good when she's been tied in swim, board and ski and running as well. So she's really come through. She had that little mistake in the first one, losing her ski, but she hasn't let that flustered her as well. But Georgia Fitzsimmons, her and Tiani Massey had a little bit of a roll earlier on. So that's, that's always really tricky, especially in these conditions. But Newcastle, it wasn't showing us there was not going to be that many swell. When I read that, I thought, you know what, Newcastle, it doesn't matter if it says half a foot, 1 foot, there's always something out there. It's always going to challenge you. And we see at the moment, look, I think everyone's feeling the effects of the first race, definitely. They're fit as anything out here. But I think having that nice little break out after this with the men's, they're going to have to reset and get themselves ready to really go up a gear.
I think you're spot on. 1 foot at Newcastle's different to 1 foot at Noosa because it really punches through here. And a couple of these girls are experiencing it firsthand. Fitz in 1, Massey in 2, Scott in 3, Electra Outram working her way back up and around after that one on the outside on the blue and yellow. Gemma Smith's tacked on and she's going to get better as the day goes on. A big gap back to the rest of these girls, and you want to be in this group. Tiani Massey's looking probably the best of everyone so far, along with Gemma Smith. You'd expect those girls to sort of, they'll probably lead off. If the race was to stop here, it'd be Massey and Scott 1 and 2, but there's plenty still to go. That looks like Kibble working her way out with Carla Papak, and have a look at Papak go, fighting for the inside, no love lost there, jams the nose in and sneaks around, and that kind of rubbing, that kind of racing slows these girls down and brings the back markers in and it lets the leaders go, but it's what you've got to do.
Yeah, and especially with that wind coming through, it's really challenging. We just saw Gemma Smith just really try and curve around there. It's really, really difficult. Or you do an alley day and you go really on the outside and come through the south. Annalise Kibble just coming around. Our race 1 winner there as well, Derbyshire and Topania, not too far away, but Georgia Fitzsimmons, I like the way she's really wound herself up. She's warmed up into the day and looking like the Georgia that we always watch and see. But we might actually have Tiani Massey, and she does it again.
Oh, she's sneaky good, but it just fills up on her there. There's a wave behind. She'll probably crack that one, but will there be anyone on it? Massey. Oh, Naomi Scott gets one as well. So Tiani Massey, Naomi Scott. Oh, will she get over the top? Scott gets down it. Yes, she does. They drop to the back. Safety first for the girls. They go up the beach, and I think that means if it finishes like this, Tiani Massey will go off first. Naomi Scott probably in second place, regardless of where they finish here. So we've got our 1 and 2 for race number 3. And to be honest, that's unofficial, but that's my terrible maths in there. Tiani Massey flying under the radar. She was second in race 1. She looks like she wants to win here in race number 2. Could this be the day that we see Tiani Massey get her first ever Shaw and Partners Iron Series race win?
I don't think she's too far away. I think you can almost smell it, can't you? Tiani Massey's not too far away, but Naomi Scott just trotting along there. She wouldn't have to worry because she knew in her head that Tiani Massey was always going to go off in front of her. Little bit of an insight, these two are actually best friends. I love that. They race against each other, but they still are best friends the under 8. Lizzie Wellborn.
What a paddle from Lizzie Wellborn. She came from well down to finish 3rd. Fitz there as well. Here's the run. Derbyshire. Look at Dom Sticko, Carla Papak, Annalise Kibble, Pippi Tapania, Jasmine Raywood has pulled this one out of the fire to get herself there inside the top 10, only just. Gemma Smith faded on that board leg. Where is Lana Rogers? Where is Lana Rogers? There she is. She goes up and through the arch ahead of Kalani Ives, Emma Woods, Lily O'Sullivan, our early leader. These races have been as topsy-turvy as I have ever seen in the Iron Woman Series. 1 minute you're at the top, 1 minute you're at the back, the next thing you're back there. And that's how difficult racing can be when in this super sprint format.
Oh, it is so challenging. And Newcastle, I think a lot of the interviews that we've been hearing with Ty, and here we go to a replay, just how much running there is and how much, I guess, you've got to decide under being fatigued as well. And there's so much happening out there, little bits and pieces. That's where Lily O'Sullivan, just before, we saw her actually, I guess, essentially lose her race, unfortunately, just with that hit of that ski wave. So here we go, Naomi Scott, Tiani Massey. They were up the front really bright from the beginning and looked really good.
Yeah, these have been 2 fantastic races for the ladies so far. Stick with us after the break, the men's and women's final of Super Sprint. This is the Shaw and Partners Iron Series from Newcastle Beach. Welcome back to beautiful Newcastle for round 2 of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Not only some of the most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world, some of the most beautiful rock pools. I know yourself and I have been having a swim the last couple of days. It's been very nice here in Newcastle, but it's about to get very, very serious. Courtney Hancock, race 3. The points have been calculated. The order has been set. You win, and you are the man here in the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Ali Day will lead off. He'll have a 2-second gap over Finn Askew, another 2 seconds to Zach Morris. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, this is going to be really tough. This is the one that it all counts. Put everything out to the side. The order is board, swim, ski. You can't go past for me. I think Ali Day is getting ready to go. His training partner, Finn Askew, Zach Morris looking good, and Joe Collins is right in there, not too far away.
The boys are off and away. Morris, Collins, Carberry, Brennan, Callahan, Maggs. That's where the gaps start to get big. Connor Maggs, 14 seconds. Ethan Callahan goes off there at 12. Kai Kinsella, there's now 4 men going off at 20 seconds. Bevilacqua with Taylor Piper and Casamento, a little bit of push and shove around that opening turn. The boys start to wind up. Ali Day is flying out to sea and the rest of the boys have to sit and watch. And Joel Piper, big mistake for him there, missing the board. You're costing yourself extra time.
You are, definitely. We've just seen it congested a little bit. Ali Day, he did go off the gun, but he's been held up by a little bit of a setting. You can't control that. You've just got to go when you got to go.
And they're rolling. Ethan Callahan forced to roll underneath there. Scary, scary times for these boys. You got to feel for Ali Day. He got hammered there. That's opened the door for Finn Askew, Joe Collins, the jump back into it there. A gap back to Zach Morris, CJ Brennan, Ben Carberry. They're in 4, 5, and 6. Another gap back to Ethan Callahan trying to tack across. But on the top side, it's Finn Askew, the centre on the red, Ali Day, and at the bottom, the man from New Zealand, Joe Collins. And well, he's done very, very well in these style of races before. You know, you give Joe Collins a chance, and he's really going to hammer it here. But it's 1 and 2 from the last race, the Eliminator in Wanda, and then Finn Askew, the world champion. A big set out the back comes through. It's starting to stand up. That'll slow him down and allow CJ Brennan, Zach Morris, and Ben Carberry to almost tack onto the back.
Yeah, that just came out of nowhere, and we said that before. Newcastle was going to throw up absolutely everything at the moment, but Joe Collins looks fierce, and I'll tell you the reason why I think this. He's got his stroke rate into it straight away. He's not mucking around. He looks like he is fresh first race of the morning. He doesn't look like he's done 2 Ironman before this, and he looks really, I guess, ready to go. So it'll be really interesting. I think what's going to really play into this race right now is the position of where they're all coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Ethan Callahan goes around. I don't think anyone else can win from here. I think Ethan Callahan's probably the last guy who's got a shot. Let's take a look at the start. Joel Piper with 4 goes down, misses his board. Braden Casamento, Matt Bevilacqua, Corey Taylor, no dramas, and it's little mistakes that'll cost you the entire day. You can see them actually going around the cans at the moment, out the back, and he'll be kicking himself. This is where Ali Day got clipped. A couple of little waves come through. They snuck up and over there. Bang, underneath one. Ethan Callahan has to roll. Connor Maggs has to roll. The rest of them stand up and go over. And it's really, really tough off that start. We go back to live pictures, and out in front, Joe Collins, Finn Askew have cracked one. They're heading back to the beach side by side, and oh, we're in for a dogfight if these two are going to go head-to-head for the next 2 legs.
These two are fierce, competitive. They're very similar like that, and they're very light across the sand. Finn just got up just a moment before Collins. You can see he really wants it as well. He had a win last year in one of the rounds, but grabs the goggles, he's up and away.
Yeah, down on the beach, Ty Dowker, Finn Askew versus Joe Collins. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, it won't be a good one. It'll be an absolute cracker. Now, the wind's picked up as well, and you saw those waves in the back starting to come in. We had 5 consecutive waves. Now we've got a layer of the competition. We've got 2 out in front, like you mentioned, of Finn Boy and Joey Collins coming round past me right now, side by side. They're looking good, but the chase back is coming, and there's some good names in there. Day, Morris, CJ Brennan, and that of Callahan.
Yeah, spot on there. These 4, the chase pack going very, very hard, trying to bring them back, and I think, well, to be honest, that's where the swimmers are. Morris, Day, CJ Brennan, Ethan Callahan, they're 4 better swimmers than probably our 2 leaders at the moment. So expect them to close the gap. I don't know if they can close it completely, but they're some of the best swimmers in the business, and that's the task for them. Have a look at Ali Day go. He knows if he lets these boys get away, it'll be race over. He trains alongside Finn Askew. He spent a lot of time racing Joe Collins over the last couple of years. This is the chase group: Parrish, Cooper Williams, Sean Riley, Corey Taylor, Jackson Borg in there as well. These guys have got work to do if they want to get inside that top 10.
Yeah, they absolutely do, because you've got so much pace out the front there. Joe Collins, Finn Askew, the swim being their, one of their best legs. So their pace is really going to be pushing at the moment. And Ali Day, he's going to really bring it. So he's going to really drag at the moment. You can see he's dragging that second pack. He's just gone a little bit off to the south. Yeah. Ali Day, he's put his head up, and I think you might see Askew and Collins have just gone a little bit further off to the north. So Ali Day, it looks like if he can scoop up another 5 metres, that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, is he going the right way there? Is he looking at the right can? He starts to come back. I would say Askew and Collins, similar style racing. They don't have a weapon leg, but they have no weakness at all. They're so consistent across all 3, board, swim and ski. Ali Day, he's the same. He's super consistent, but his swim is an absolute weapon. When he wants to turn it on, he is the best swimmer in the sport, and he's closed the gap ever so slightly. Morris is trying to stay with him. There you can see that gap certainly closed as Askew leads. Collins in second, Ali Day in third, Zach Morris in four. They push around. Ethan Callahan is there with CJ Brennan. And the gap back to, I think, Benny Carberry. He's starting to close that one as well. So these men are starting to become close enough to, well, can I crack a wave? Can I get down one and maybe jump up on our leaders?
They are right in there at the moment. And you saw Harlan. Oh, here he goes. A little bit of a wave there, Josh. Oh, you just see Ali Day not too far off it, and then you see Collins and Askew. They just probably milked a metre. I think that'd be it at the moment, so we'll wait and see. But it's the body surfing at Newcastle. This is where you're really going to really find some metres. And remember, this isn't the first race. This is the third race of the day. And at the moment, I have to say, from seeing all the men racing throughout the whole day, they look very, very good. I don't see any of them looking tired. I think they've all worked very hard over the Christmas New Year period. And this is where it's all coming to a flight at the moment.
Key moments. Ali Day hits the lead. Wave on. Finn Askew, Ali Day, Joe Collins, 1, 2, 3. Who can hold it? Put their head down. Kick with the legs. This could be a pivotal moment. Askew looks like he's going to push along. Collins stays there. Day falls off. Joe Collins, the longest. He's tough and he's gritty, the man from across the ditch in New Zealand. He gets up and gets going. Ty Dowker, the final transition. They're heading towards the final ski leg.
Yeah, the pace is on Joey Collins, Finn Askew, Ali Day, but then the chase pace. The big question for me is, when is Ben Carberry, the Australian ski champion? He is in fourth place at the moment, and I expect to be the big mover in this ski leg under fatigue.
Oh, you could feel Ben Carberry starting to wind up. He can produce something special on a final ski leg, but I don't know if he's close enough to get these three men, Collins, Askew, Ali Day, 1, 2, and 3 as they go round. Well, just milliseconds separating them as they go under the arch. And interesting, Joe Collins down on that end. He'll jump straight into the rip. Finn Askew and Ali Day on the southern side. They've got a lot more to run across. That's advantage Joe Collins.
And also with Joe Collins, he is the fastest ski starter. He does it. I can't believe the third Ironman of the day. He's flipped it under his arm. It looked like he picked it up for the first time. So he is out in front at the moment. We see him out on that rip, just going across the rocks at Newcastle. Then we've got the teammates, Day and Askew.
That's going to be key for them as well. Day and Askew will work together, the Surface Paradise boys. They're not going to be clashing paddles. They're not going to be fighting it out. Jolie Piper, Dan Collins, Sean Riley, they work their way through. This is all about points for staying alive in the overall Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Odin Parrish goes around transition there. Have a look at Ben Carberry. He's on the white and pink, starting to wind up. He's a long way down. Could we see a miracle for Ben Carberry? He almost missed out on even racing in this round at Wanda. He was the last man to qualify through, and have a look at him there. He could even end up on the podium. Ali Day, Finn Askew in the middle, Joe Collins on the blue out in front. It's his race to lose from here as a big set comes through. That's going to slow down Day and Askew, and it's going to help Benny Carberry ever so slightly.
Yeah, the men on screen at the moment, they are just fighting to. We just see one of the competitors
CJ Brennan there.
He was and he's had a good day, hasn't he, at the moment? But you just see how strong Dan Collins, the local, not too far behind. But Joe Collins, he is out in front and he wants it. You saw the way that he threw his goggles onto the sand there. You saw he was angry, he's fierce. And we've got, Ali Day, he makes special things happen, doesn't he?
I spoke to Collins after he finished second in the Eliminator at Wanda. He said, I wanted it so bad, but I just couldn't beat Ali Day. He said, I did everything right, and some days you're just not good enough. Well, he's done everything right. Final leg of the final race for the men's. Joe Collins has a 3 ski length lead against the defending champion, Ali Day. There's Jackson Borg, has got absolutely hammered in on the shore break there. He's going to cop another one, and sometimes when it's not your day, it's not your day. The boys are on the way home. The battle for third's on. Ben Carberry and Finn Askew are in an absolute firepower, but have a look at the rating go up. Joe Collins knows it's now or never.
Yeah, he had a little look behind him and he's learnt from time and time again. Ali Day, he will keep coming. He will not stop. So Joe Collins, he hasn't slowed down, has he? That stroke rate has been up, but I know that he wants this more than ever. You can see it. He's gritting his teeth. Ben Carberry, yeah, he's having a beast of a paddle out the back there. Do not count him out at the moment, but Ali Day, Finn Askew might be something.
He's claimed it. He's already claimed it. He knows he's got it done. The nose dipped, the arm went up. I hope he wins it, because if he doesn't. But Joe Collins, the 22-year-old accountant from Fitzroy in New Zealand. He's won 2 races before. Both of them have been eliminators. Today, he will be the Super Sprint champion, and they will celebrate in New Zealand. He's a 2-time New Zealand champion. He's finished second in this series in the past, and this will be his 3rd ever race win. What a day for the young lad. He went up against the best. He went head-to-head with the world champion, the defending Shaw & Partners Iron Series champion. They threw their best at him and it wasn't enough. Joe Collins wins Super Sprint here on Newcastle Beach, and he will celebrate this one because it's a famous victory.
Congratulations, Joe Collins. Look at that. Look at the finish. He's just absolutely wanted that, and he tore that to pieces. We'll have now a sprint finish. Josh, here we go.
Up and around Ali Day. Have a look at Ben Carberry over the top of them there. The 2 boys, formerly of Warilla Barrack Point in 2nd and 3rd there. Ben Carberry from Burleigh got there ahead of Ali Day, and poor old Finn Askew's finished in 4th there. What a day we've had. What a final we've had. Unbelievable stuff. All of these races count as well. The points so important because we're trying to take a top 16 through to North Burleigh for rounds 3 and 4. Down on the beach, Ty Dowker with, I'm sure, a very, very happy champion.
Yeah, the boy from Fitzroy had the claim coming in as well. How good's winning?
Oh, mate, yeah. They're tough to come by. It's a special thing every time you do it. That's my 3rd round win. That's huge, man. That's what we come back for. I come back for this feeling of everyone being around and just getting that crowd feel, and love getting up the beach and having enough time to slap everyone up.
He loves the wins, he loves Newcastle, and guess what? We're back again tomorrow.
Oh yeah, let's bring it.
There you have it, Joey Collins, your champ.
Yeah, he is the champion there, and what a day he's had. Unbelievable. The young lad from Northcliffe on the Gold Coast now, he's been there since 2018, spent a lot of time up there under another Kiwi, Kev Morrison, and at the club there. He did a fantastic job, and he wanted this one very, very bad. And what a performance, what a win, and I don't think this is the last time we'll see him on the top step of the podium.
Oh, absolutely not. He's really, he's been a shining star for the last couple of years, and I love the way he raced. That was one of my favourite races I've ever seen Joe race, and the reason being, he just really grit his teeth, didn't he? He had a really, I reckon he kind of, I don't know, he kind of went into, I guess, a big heart, didn't he? He really got into his heart and went, okay, I know how much Ironman racing hurts, but I really need to bring out something special, and he did today.
What a fight he had with the boys there on the Gold Coast. Finn Askew, Ali Day, all side by side for basically the entire race. That's what we love about Super Sprint. There are those gaps, but if you're close, you can get it done. Ben Carberry, Ty Dowker called it going in. Australian ski race champion in the final leg. He came over the top of both Day and Askew, and well, sometimes guys can produce something special. He was 22nd place after round number 1. He's 2nd today. What a turnaround for the man from Burleigh Heads. Bed down the page, Piper Kinsella, Sean Riley, Corey Taylor, Brennan, after starting so well, got hammered on that ski. You've got to feel sorry for him. Will Savage, Odin Parrish, Dan Collins, Jackson Borg, well down the page, and a couple of lads who didn't have the day they would have been looking for, but another opportunity tomorrow. Local lad now, Surface Paradise, Kai Taylor, and Henry Simpson of the Sunshine Coast finish up in 21 and 22.
And as you said, Josh, it's not over. It's not over for this round 2. They do need to have a big, big day tomorrow for the Eliminator, which will go that, obviously, the hardest format there, but the Super Sprint for the men has definitely showed us a lot of thrills and spills. We just see all the locals out there. Dan, the man caps, I absolutely love to see it out there, but Joe Collins was our man.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Stick with us. Ladies race coming up. Super Sprint here at the Shaw & Partners Iron Series.
Favorite part about the sport is definitely being able to push myself against best athletes in the world and also Mother Nature herself.
I think just being able to line up and race against the best competitors in the sport, test yourself out in the conditions as well.
You get to race some of the best athletes in the world, and I love putting myself out there and trying to get to the front of these races.
I think my favourite part is being able to live out my childhood dream.
Just the prestige surrounding it, the history around it, and just knowing that now you're a part of that history.
It's not necessarily the racing side or anything. I think it's just more enjoyable that I get to see people every afternoon, every morning.
I love how close all the competitors are, building fun relationships, learning from each other.
So I really enjoy travelling, so getting to go to different parts of the country and going to different beaches is what I enjoy. So whenever we get to race in different spots is why I do the sport.
I think just being able to travel
with so many of your friends. Gives you a good excuse to spend a bit of time with them and that.
Favourite part about being in the Iron Series is the travel, like getting to go to so many different beaches, places, and obviously bringing the family along for the ride as well. And I think the other really cool thing about our sport is the relationships we create along the way, like just the mates I have all up and down the east coast of Australia. So it's a brilliant sport, and I'm privileged that I get to call it my job.
Welcome back to the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Race 3 for the ladies super sprint up next. We've done races 1 and 2, calculated the start order, 2-second gaps between the athletes. First across the line gets all the chocolates. Courtney Hancock, it all comes down to this.
This is it. This is the all-important one, the one that counts. Oh, I can't wait for this, Josh. We've got Tiani Massey going off first. Now, Amy Scott not too far behind, and Annalise Kibble up for that top 3.
We're off and away. Board, swim, ski is the order, just like the men. Scott, Kibble, Outram, Wellborn and Derbyshire not too far away. Lana Rogers is the big one. The 2 girls from Northcliffe will go one behind each other. 1 and 2 last year's series, Rogers and Fitz, and then the world champion in the swim and board, Lily O'Sullivan. So big movers from that group of girls in 7, 8, 9.
And remember the order we are looking at for this last one is going to be board, swim, ski. So that is the order. We've had the men run and done, and here we go. The women are out and ready to play.
Claudia Kelly, Grace Harris, Mia Cook, and Bella Williams, a local girl, grew up in Cooks Hill and now at the Northcliffe Club on the Gold Coast. So big local support crew from Williams. She's got nothing to lose, going off 40 seconds down. How many can she pick off there? And I guess racing free like that, big things can happen. We saw Benny Carberry. He was no chance of getting on the podium until he blew that final ski leg apart. And have a look, a couple of waves have hammered Tiani Massey, and it's Lizzie Wellborn and Naomi Scott side by side in the lead, and all of a sudden those gaps have disappeared, just like the men's race.
Yeah, we saw exactly the same thing happen to Ali Day, who went off first, and it just really congested the group together. But Lizzie Wellborn, with board going off first, we both thought this would happen. We knew she'd really put the pedal to the metal straight up. She's been so powerful, and she makes up so many meters in that board leg. So Lizzie Wellborn out in front at the moment, and gosh, she wants it.
Tiani Massey's gone from 1st to 4th out on her own on that right-hand side. So in 1, it's Wellborn on the yellow. The light white and pink is Naomi Scott. The blue and yellow, that's Electra Outram, your top 3. The gap back to Massey, then Annalise Kibble, Lucy Derbyshire, Georgia Fitz, Lana Rogers, Lily O'Sullivan. Bang, that's where she got hammered there. One wave, copped it in the face sideways, and it was so powerful that it knocked her basically back 5 or 4 spots from 1st into 5th.
Yeah, it was just enough, wasn't it? And you saw it was Lucy Derbyshire in the blue, so she almost fell back that kind of 6 to 8 seconds. So for Tiani Massey, we won't count her out, definitely not. She's so tough and so gritty. So she's going along there at the moment with Annalise Kibble, who's been in very good form.
Yeah, I think one of these girls might end up on the podium. Derbyshire, Kibble, Georgia Miller goes around there, Lana Rogers in the pink, the Northcliffe girls. Hannah Scully has had a fantastic paddle. There's Lily O'Sullivan as well. She sneaks her way around. Dom Stitt getting in on the action there as well. The girls start to go for home on the right-hand side, and it's still out in front, Lizzie Wellborn. But out the back, there's a couple of little runners. Kibble tries to get over the top one. Oh, Tiani Massey's back into it. So is Naomi Scott and Electra Outram. And oh, maybe Wellborn will miss out. Wellborn won't go down, and she just got the wrong angle. Electra Outram on the left, Tiani Massey alongside her, and the yo-yo racing continues. They're up the front, they're out the back, and it's just happened all day on the ladies' side of things.
Oh, you've got to take Newcastle Beach as it comes, don't you? Here we go. Oh, look at that. Naomi Scott. She's done it numerous times. She's been Australian champion. She's won rounds of this Shaw and Partners series time and time again. So she's looking really good, and I tell you what's familiar to see her out in front.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She's the world champion there. That is the gap heading into her best leg, the swim, I think. So you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. Electra Outram from Sunshine Beach up on the Sunshine Coast, and Tiani Massey from Maroochydore up there as well. Ty Dowker, the 2 girls chasing, they look very, very determined.
Yeah, two great girls chasing here. Of Electra Altram mentioned that of Tiani Massey, but Naomi Scott, let's put this in context, as mentioned, world Iron Woman champion, now going into that of her master stroke and her strength of the swim. Very similar to the World Championships, led from the front, extended that, but Electra Altram looking good, and we know the pocket rocket from Maroochydore, that of Massey on the charge.
Up and around, you're spot on there. Lizzie Wellborn goes under the arch in 4th place. Annalise Kibble in 5 there. They're a long, long way down. We take a look at the gap and it's well outside the sort of 15 to 20 second mark. So 20 to Wellborn. There's Lana Rogers working her way through. Hannah Scully comes up and around. Lucy Derbyshire from Surfers Paradise. Georgia Miller from Northcliffe on the Gold Coast. So some good swimmers in there. Lana Rogers, Georgia Fitz there. They'll take up some of this slack here. They'll take up some of that gap, but just how much can they get back?
And it's all for the athletes at the moment, this time of the race. We've got the 3rd Iron Woman of the day. Who is willing to hurt? Who knows how to hurt and who knows how to push it? So whenever the swim, middle, because once we get into that ski, you let your legs go for a little bit and you're really generally using your arms. But this one, put your head down, big transition run, jump on that ski. If it can be out in front, you're going to be hard to catch. So at the moment, I think the smart thing you can do is really push that pace so no one can kind of come from that second group.
Electra Outram has had a hell of a transition, gone around there, sort of 5 or 6 seconds down on Naomi Scott, but she's managed to tack on. She's just going to try and hang in there. Tiani Massey's the same. I think both these girls are going to sit on Scott, just try and hang in, and both will try and use their ski leg. Even though Naomi Scott is the Australian ski race champion, I think Tiani Massey would sort of back herself against this. Ty Dowker on the beach with one of the boys who've just gone round. He's experienced just how tough this racing can be.
Yeah, I love this down here with Finn Askew. He's got the chocolate medal of 4th, and he's up on his toes. He's saying, go loose. The girlfriend's racing now. When do you get more nervous racing yourself or when your girlfriend's out there?
I'm pretty calm when I'm racing, so definitely when I'm supporting Lucy. So, you know, it's hard when you're watching and you can't be out there and exactly doing for them, but she's moving amazing, and it's only a matter of time before it all pieces together and she gets her first win, so I'm looking forward to it all.
Great result today. He's not racing in 3 race days, racing in 6 with Luce as well. Best of luck.
Thanks, Ty. Appreciate it, mate.
There was no lies there from Finny Askew, that is for sure. Lucy Derbyshire's due, and she's going to get one eventually, whether it's today, tomorrow, or somewhere this summer. There has probably not been an athlete who's looked more likely to win one, but just hasn't been able to get there so far. She's come so close so many times, sitting inside the top 10 at the moment, but with plenty of work to do. Lucy Derbyshire, she was 8th. Heading into the swim there. Still Scott out in front there. Electra Outram hanging on. The chase pack going very, very hard. And Naomi Scott turning the screws, starting to wind up. You can see those long arms. Great stroke, great surf stroke there. Not picture perfect, but very, very good and super fast.
And talking about another athlete that's due, Tiani Massey, she is due for a win. She has put herself right there again and again. And we just see Naomi Scott, she's got an opportunity.
She get down it.
And she's done it. Beautiful body surfing, head down, Breen. That is so hard to do when you're in the 3rd Ironwoman race of the day and have to hold your breath. Electra Altram, not too far away, but Naomi Scott, she's really got to get up and get going because there is a big wave behind on the south.
Yeah, not too far behind. Tiani Massey's finished 3rd in her last 3 races. One last summer, the opening round down at Wanda there. Naomi Scott hasn't had probably the greatest results for the last sort of 12 months, but had a win to finish the summer 2 summers ago. And Electra Outram has never won a race. The best she's ever done is won 3rd place last year. And with 1 leg to go, the lady from Sunshine Beach leads this super sprint final. She'll head onto the ski with a little gap ahead of Naomi Scott and Tiani Massey. Can we see a boil over here? Ty Dowker.
Yeah, Electra Altram looks really good. Now, we know one thing about Electra Altram, under the goddess of Westberg, is very leg fit. 1 leg away. She's just past me now, focused, determined. But Naomi Scotty getting the big ones coming in. The danger for me is Tiani Massey. We know how she loves the race, especially the tail end of an Iron Woman race.
You're spot on there. We've just seen Lizzie Wellborn go around as well. So just like Benny Carberry with heading into the final leg in 4th place, a gap of sort of 5 or 6 seconds. Lana Rogers not too far away either. Annalise Kibble having a great day, sort of out on her own at the moment with plenty of work to do. And Lucy Derbyshire there in 7th. Hannah Scully coming around in 8th place from the Northcliffe Club. Georgia Fitz, her teammate, not too far behind, just inside the top 10. But can we see a Lizzie Wellborn, a Lana Rogers get themselves onto the podium? Or are we going to see an Annalise Kibble fire her way through? She's a very good ski paddler as well, but The leaders, have a look at the chase pack. They look like they're hurting. Third race of the day, and they are under pressure.
And it's a bit of a travelator as well, so they're really going up and up. And we just see in one of the drones out the back there, we've actually got Scott and Massey at the moment. There is drama happening. They are off and about. Naomi Scott there hasn't even got on her ski yet.
They got hammered by a wave there. That's allowed Electra Outram to sneak away. Scott's still swimming alongside it there. Have a look there, trying to get on. And that is drama for the world champion, Naomi Scott. Have a look at the lead now. Electra Outram, well, 3/4 of a leg from the finish. Super sprint here out in front. In second place, Lana Rogers on that far right-hand side. Lizzie Wellborn on the yellow there, and Tiani Massey in fourth place. A few big sets coming through out there at the moment. No one's out of it. So Outram goes over it. Bang, 1, 2. Massey goes off. Then Scott goes off. Have a look at the girls on the right-hand side sneaking through, and that's just where it all went south for Naomi Scott.
Oh, you have to feel for Naomi Scott. She did everything right, and it was just that 1, 2, 3 wave. So now she's really going to have to fight back in the pack there. We just see Naomi Scott. She's just behind Lucy Derbyshire there on the south of the screen there, but it's all about Electra Outram. And yeah, we said it before, talking about being due. Sunshine Beach there, coached by Wes Berg.
Yeah.
He'd be jumping up and down. And the one thing I really love about Wes's coaching, he really knows the surf very well, and he would have chatted with Electra saying, okay, this is a plan, this is where we're going, and that's how he raced himself. So Electra Outram, Wesberg, great team there, and I tell you what, she's going to be very hard to catch.
She's had an up and down career. She's burst onto the scene, had a couple of years out of the series, has been back in, back out, and when she hooked up with Wes last year to train, finished in fourth, and it was a really standout year for her. She's just continuing it on at the moment. We're on the way home. That's Tiani Massey chasing our lead pack, but that's our leader, Electra Outram from Sunshine Beach. They'll be cheering her on there at the club. She starts to wind up. If she can find a runner, just like Joe Collins, it'll be over. Oh, in the background, Wellborn and Lana Rogers come down one. Will they join her? I don't think so. It just fills up on them there. There's another little push from behind, but Outram's still out in front. You can see the two girls cutting across each other there, battling it out the back. This is the chase pack. None of these girls are going to get themselves into it, but Outram's found one, and if she can hold it straight, it's race over. They're going to be celebrating at Sunshine Beach, but this isn't going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. We've seen it all day. There's so much water movement at Newcastle. We can see it there. She's really got to strap in and get going. And once she comes out in a couple of seconds, she's in the safety zone, which well done, Electra. Lizzie Wellborn and Lana Rogers, we saw them in round one. They had that sprint finish, so I know Lizzie's going to want to get going because she doesn't want to get another sprint finish with Lana Rogers.
In the last 8 races, nobody but Lana Rogers, Georgia Fitz or Olivia Corrin have ever won. It has been an absolute domination from the Northcliffe girls, but today it will be Sunshine Beach that gets the job done. Electra Outram will win a Shaw and Partners Iron Series race. What a boil over, what a performance. It's a reward for effort. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Electra Outram wins. She's the Super Sprint champion.
Oh, congratulations, Electra. And look at the emotion there. She is so excited and happy about that. Congratulations. That was absolutely brilliant there. We actually have Tiani Massey has just looked like she's come on the inside there of Lana Rogers, and Lizzie Wellborn will have to take the 4th place there. So Electra Outram, Sunshine Beach, congratulations. Her first win.
Oh, what a win it was, and what a day from these ladies. They threw everything at themselves. They threw everything at each other, and Kibble got to be happy with that in a 5th place, one of her best results ever. Good points for her. The girls continue to stream up and around. Emma Woods there inside the top 10. I think Lucy Derbyshire just in front of her. Georgia Fitz as well. There's Naomi Scott behind, battling it out. And from going to, we'll try and fight it out for the win. She's just trying to finish inside the top 10 there. That's how brutal surf sports racing can be. Scully comes across, Corrin as well. The rest of the girls, I'm awestruck. There's a new champion in town, Ty Dowker with Electra Outram.
Oh, talk about the champ. Electra, the smile says it all on the dial. Newcastle round 2, the super sprint. She just said to me then, she said, I didn't know I was leading until the end. What a feeling.
Yeah, I'm really stoked, so happy.
A lot of hard work goes into this, obviously under Wesberg as well, and a shout out to the Sunshine crew up there as well. But the effort that Wes has done with you over the last 12 or 18 months has been phenomenal.
Yes, it has. I mean, I've got a whole team backing me, and even though they couldn't be down here today, they're still in my corner. They're still amazing. All my crew from, the Noosa Aquatic Centre, even my NIPA coach, Max Pettigrew, and obviously Wes and the family. They've been really amazing. And even just Sunshine Surf Sports, like they've been really amazing in getting me to the line, and also Legal Vision. They've helped me out a whole lot.
But what about that? You're top of the podium. Never been there before. An Iron Series race winner. What a moment. Huge congratulations, Electra Altram.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank Race 1 too. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing and how they're helping us achieve our dreams.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, Electra Altram, our champ.
She is the champ, that is for sure. And yeah, big shout out to the Sunshine team there, a team I know really, really well. And they'll be celebrating up there. This is a big moment for the club. They've had a couple in the series in the past, but never like this. And to have a winner there for Bridge and the team up there, very, very impressive.
It was, and you just saw the emotion of her coming through. She went, this is something I've dreamt of since I was a little girl, and just seeing her on the screen there, good friend of Jasmine Raywood there, looking very happy for her as well. So congratulations, Electra, that was incredible. We'll just put the results on the screen now.
Yeah, we'll take a look there. Electra Outram on top from Sunshine Beach. Tiani Massey from Maroochydore in second. Lana Rogers from Northcliffe in third place. You've got a feel for Rogers, Wellborn, Kibble, Fitz, Luce Derbyshire. They fought their way through. They really did a fantastic job there. They were close, but what a day for Outram. Sunshine Beach, their first ever win in the Shaw & Partners Iron Series. And down the page, Naomi Scott, you got a feel for her. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong wave, and you can go from first to 12th.
Absolutely, and we saw that. Unfortunately, Scott, but she'll be back. And then, as we said, we saw Lily O'Sullivan was there all day. Carla Packback looked really good. The young gun, Mia Cook, Stitt. She got in a little bit of a trouble early on in the day, but Ives, Kelly, Pippi Tapania, you can see her out there. She's just having a wonderful time being her debut. And to round it up, we have Grace Harris and also Bella Williams, a local, got so much support. She would have wanted a better day out, but she felt the love out there, and I'm sure it would have been really, really amazing. She's still got another opportunity tomorrow. And
a reminder as well, those bottom 6 athletes, we will say goodbye to those after the point score tomorrow. So we're taking 16 through to North Burleigh, the final weekend, rounds 3 and 4 over 2 days. So you want to be in the top 16. So it doesn't matter if you got a 20th, you're just going to need something a little bit better tomorrow. What a day we've had here. What a super sprint round. It was something truly special.
It was really special. It was so wonderful to be back here at Newcastle. It's been, I think, about 10 years since we've been back here for the Shaw & Partners Iron Series. And Newcastle, as we expected, we put a lot of pressure on Newcastle to bring up the waves. We had the potholes, we had the sandbanks, and we had the rocks. So it was all happening.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's take a look at the highlights of today, and what a day it was. 3 races for the men, 3 races for the women. And it obviously all came down to those final ones, but I think our winners, they sort of snuck their way through early stages there, didn't sort of spend too many cookies throughout the day, and then managed to find another level in that third race.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That was what happened through the day. We just saw Joe Collins. He was one of those ones that really, he really let it all unleash in that last one, as well as Finn Askew getting the 4th there, and then Electra Altram and Tiani Massey. Kibble as well, right there with the 5th position. So all these athletes were really right up there from the start.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there were some pivotal moments in these races, weren't there? Moments really win. On behalf of myself and the entire team here at the Shaw & Partners Iron Series, thank you for watching. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow for the Eliminator. It's been a hell of a day. Thank you for watching.